they have like this awesome thing, this passion for something, and they don't see how it fits in with their network marketing business. But you are taking the skills and the things that you learned from building a network marketing business and you applied it to the thing that you're really passionate about. So you can build the systems, like you said, like your network marketing business is like solid. And it's because you have the systems, the automation, those things like built in your business. So that way you can then work on your passion project. Hey, Authentic Influencers. I'm so excited to bring to you Brandi Voth. She is someone that I have followed for a while, and I just love everything that she stands for and everything that she does. I would love to just kind of chat about because you have this awesome project that you're working on, and kind of what led you up to this, because I love, like, you are the perfect example of taking something you're passionate about, taking your network marketing company and blending the two. So I would love to just kind of hear your journey of what that was all about.
To kind of like put it all wrapped up in a little bow as most quickly, efficiently as possible. I was a stay-at-home mom for about 10 years. And while I loved that and I loved my babies and I loved that time, like I'm so grateful to have that time with them, I also was a person that knew that there was like just a different call on my life, that it wasn't just that of mom and wife. And for some people that is their like soul, heart, mission, calling. It just wasn't mine. And so I started using some skincare products that I really loved. And that led me into building a global team. And we're across like 17 states in the US, every territory of Australia, hopefully Japan soon. In this midst, it was like, okay, I love sales. I've always loved sales. And anyone that tells you like sales make them uncomfortable, just call me and we'll hop on the phone, because I love sales. Like we're in a consumer society and I sell something. More than just the love of the sales, I really loved coaching and training women and helping them realize their strengths and helping them step out of their comfort zones. That segued into simultaneously, my attention was drawn to human trafficking. And this wasn't anything that I like went searching. It wasn't something that I like had this long life mission for. It literally caught me off guard with a billboard one day. And I couldn't like walk away from it. It just kept like pulling at my heart over and over and over. And I knew that this was like the bigger thing that I was being called to. Like, it was like, okay, I'm great at business. I'm great at sales. I'm great at training and coaching women, but there's also this thing over here that I'm supposed to be doing. And I have no idea what that looks like. There's a lot of like attention being drawn to human trafficking right now, which is great because we're having a lot of conversations that we didn't have before, but there's also a lot of misinformation out there. So I highly recommend that if this is something you are kind of interested in or concerned about, do really diligent research and not like YouTube videos or social media research, but like go find the organizations that are boots on the ground that are working in this area. That's what I did. So I was like, I'm an avid learner. And so it's like, give me all the things to read, give me all the things to watch, give me all the meetings to attend. And still didn't really know how this was going to blend with like business. So in a network marketing business, as you know, and a lot of your listeners know, it takes a lot to lead a team, right? When you build a team out, you have to continue like training and coaching and working with them. And so I was being really pulled in. I'm doing all of this like advocacy training and classes and volunteer work. And I got to kind of marry this, right? So it took me a little bit just to kind of find a happy medium balance of how I delegated time to each thing. In the midst, I began volunteering and mentoring and training, mentoring traffic survivors, teaching a business class to them, and working one-on-one settings where we teach job skills and resume building and interview skills. While this was going on, I had one girl that sat there one day, and I always ask, like, what are the biggest obstacles you have to overcome? Most of the time it's a criminal record, and people with criminal records, right, wrong, or indifferent, have about a 27% higher unemployment rate And so that's the equivalent in a normal economy. That's the equivalent of someone trying to find a job during the Great Depression. So you can imagine that on top of what we're walking through in 2020, it's a situation. So I had this girl that said her greatest obstacle when I asked her, what's your greatest obstacle? She said, well, you're a business owner. I'm in a program. Would you hire me? Of course, my answer is like, yes, I would totally hire you because, you're ambitious and you're eager and you're going to work hard. But the reality of that is that most employers, no, like the answer is no. As soon as they see a background check, they don't even care about rehabilitation. They don't care about second chances. I knew that my network marketing business would not lend itself well to this because these girls have a lot of times been in hiding for a few years. They've been off the radar. They don't have a big network. There's just a lot, right? There's a lot of layers there. But I had wanted to start a hat company for a long time. And so I was like, came home, told my husband, I'm like, so we're starting a hat business and we're going to employ the girls that I mentor. And he's like, what? I thought we had like a no new businesses rule because we have like 6 between the two of us. So that kind of brings us long version to today where I have the skincare business that is great and amazing and residual income, and it's built out really solid and stable. I have a podcast. I mentor the traffic survivors, and then we've just launched the Power Hat Company where we make hats and first pieces that we provide transitional employment. So whether someone is with us for a month or a year, we have drop-in jobs that they can do, stamping the leather. The long-term goal is to provide a community of mentors around the girls that teach business skills and entrepreneurial training, because a lot of them are very entrepreneurial minded. So, I want to help them like launch their businesses and go forth in the world.
That is amazing. Like, I love how you have just taken one thing and kind of using your unique gifts, talents, and strengths, and to be able to create something that's even bigger than yourself. And you can help so many more people by doing that.
I think that that's something that people kind of oftentimes miss. Like, they want to do something and they kind of think like, I want it to be like so big that they freeze on not knowing how to like take action. And so literally every single thing that I did, this has been a 3-year journey. It didn't happen overnight, but every single thing that I did was just taking a step and taking another step. And so it was like, when I went to my first meeting with the house that I volunteer at, I went straight up to the director. Like, it was one of those things I had been kind of like trying on different organizations and going to different meetings. And this was the one that I'm a believer. Don't know if your listeners are, but this was the one that I knew God had 100% brought me to. And so I went straight to the director afterwards and I was like, I need to be involved. This is where I'm supposed to be serving. And I'm really great at coaching, training, and speaking. And so that I just gave like, these are my gifts. Plug me in however you want to plug me in. So if you're great at cooking, like, go whatever you're being called for. Like, you can show up and be like, hey, I make a bomb apple pie. Like, plug me in.
Well, and I think a lot of the times when I talk with like clients or other people in network marketing, that they have like this awesome thing, this passion for something, and they don't see how it fits in with their network marketing business. But you are taking the skills and the things that you learned from building a network marketing business and you applied it to the thing that you're really passionate about. So you can build the systems, like you said, like your network marketing business is like solid. And it's because you have the systems, the automation, those things like built in your business. So that way you can then work on your passion project. So that's the thing I don't think a lot of people expect,
Well, and I think that sometimes people think that like the passion has to make them money. And I think that sometimes that convolutes things, right? So because that's where we lose track of like why we're doing what we're doing sometimes. So I tell people like, you can like walk in the purpose that you're created for driving a bus, right? Like, you can do it being a greeter at Walmart. Like, you can do it doing whatever it is that you do, and you can build something that makes you money and supports. Like, that's what I tell everybody. I'm like, look, my skincare business supports all of these things. Like, if I went to my husband and was like, yo, I want to start a hat company and it's going to cost a major amount of like startup, investment, he probably wouldn't have been as keen if I didn't have a business built out that was creating residual income that lends itself to go do these things.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. I love that so much. So you have a book. Let's talk about your book.
Oh, I do. And look, I never ever have my book in front of me ever. So it is The Power Project, A Journey of Purpose. And there it is right there.
Oh, it's so
And
cool.
it's really it's the last 3 years, like the really long version of the last 3 years of, because people tend to look at your end and they don't know like what your beginning looked like or what your middle looked like. And they're just like, oh my gosh, you're doing all the things. Like, how did you do this? Or how did you get involved with this? And so I really wanted to just lay the journey out where it looked like saying yes, every day and taking a foot forward. And it wasn't easy and there were obstacles to overcome. So it's my personal journey of all of it, right? But I also provide tangible steps for the reader to take their own purpose journey. So each chapter has like 3 to 5 things that you can do, whether it's like avoiding the comparison trap, or it is like staying married when you don't really want to, or being in business with partnerships that don't work out. And so, yeah, that's all of it in a nutshell.
It's amazing. I love everything that you are doing and putting this all together. And just the fact that like, that's the key, is like every single day, just taking a step forward and taking action. And even if you don't know if it's the right direction, like I'm sure that you took action on something that you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And it turned out that was not the thing you were supposed to do. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that just because we like go maybe the wrong direction, the way that we like course correct that, and the way that we just turn around and analyze, like, is this for me or is this not? Like, you don't continue going in the wrong direction, right? Like I always say, like, you've got like 3 forks, like 3 directions to go, right? So if I choose right and I'm like, oh, right didn't really work out, I'm not just going to continue going right, because I'm going to end up in the opposite direction of where I need to be. I'm going to turn around and I'm be like, this time I'm going to go straight. Straight might not be the right direction either, but the willingness to try like one of those 3 things, like one of those 3 things is the right direction, but we can always turn around and go the other way. So, yeah, it definitely did not come without pitfalls. But I think that you have to just be willing to try and take one of the directions.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, and like even in my journey too, there's been times where like I'll go somewhere and then like, that was definitely not the way that I needed to go. But the lessons I learned from going the wrong direction helped me when I was going the right direction to be able to move faster along that path. So it's not like you like are losing ground. You know what I mean?
Yes. No, absolutely. Absolutely. And even like the girls that I mentor, they've made bad decisions in their life. And we talk really intently about the fact that I will not ever say the phrase like everything happens for a reason, because there's some really terrible things that have happened to people, and that minimizes the pain, right? But I will say that every single piece of it is part of your journey. Like every single piece is a stepping stone. We've learned something. We have grown stronger because of something. We have learned like behaviors that we can avoid. So every single piece of it, like the good, the bad, the ugly, the struggles, the trials, that is the journey that was laid out for you to walk. And so what you take from that and what you learn from that and what you grow from that is like up to you.
Anywhere else that they can find you, where's the best place to get connected with you?
Oh, so I'm on Instagram. I'm at just Brandi Voth, Voth. I'm doing my best to hang out with the young kids over there. Like, I'm so much more of a Facebook person. I feel like I'm able to have more conversations. I love Facebook groups. So I've got a group you can join. It's the Power Squad. My page on Facebook is The Power Project. You can just pull that up, or you can hang out with me on Instagram. The podcast, everything is pretty much The Power Project. If you pull that up on any platform, it's the podcast is anywhere that you listen to podcasts. And then other than that, all things that I'm doing and have going on can be found at the-powerproject.com.
Thank you so much for being on here, and have a fun rest of your vacation.
Totally. Thank you so much for having me. This was super fun. I loved it.